It's LeGarrette Blunt here, man, 3-time Super Bowl champion. I just want to give you a shout out to the YouTube channel, Micro Mike, man.
Eddie Murray, former Detroit Lion. Make sure you watch Micro Mike on YouTube.
Calvin Johnson Jr. here, aka Megatron. Big shout out to Micro Mike and the YouTube channel, man.
Keep on talking everything Detroit Lions, and I just got to remind you, man, happy wife, happy life.
What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Mr. Biker Mike, and today we're going to talk about Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings in an NFC North showdown, week 9 of the NFL season, and a very important game for both teams. And in this video, if you're new to my channel, we're going to do analysis, prediction, and breakdown of the game. We go position by position, player v player, and at the end of it, give a prediction according to what the stats show. Before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel. Why subscribe to my channel? Because I drop content every single day, and I will be doing a Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings live watch party on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and it is absolutely fun, and I try to be unbiased as humanly possible, so if you're a Vikings fan, come on down and enjoy the fun. Let's start with the quarterback position, and we're going to go with the Detroit Lions. Matthew Stafford, he's 1,916 yards, 61.4 completion percentage, 13 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Now, Matthew Stafford is definitely the idea of Jekyll and Hyde quarterback. One game he can be very good, one game he can be very bad. It's depending on what day it is. On Sunday versus the Colts, he was very bad, but before that, against the Falcons, he was very good. It is what it is. We know who he is. Then we got for the Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins, he's 124 for 189, 1,635 yards, 65.6 completion percentage, 12 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. He's not having the greatest year so far. He's turning the ball over a little bit. Minnesota Vikings are having some issues across the team, but when it starts with Kirk Cousins, he's definitely regressed a little bit this year. However, they did very good against the Green Bay Packers, defeating them in a great game. Shout out to the Vikings fans out there and the team. I appreciate the victory, and shows again that this team can be a Jekyll and Hyde as well. But when it comes to Stafford versus Cousins, I'm going to give Stafford a 0.5 advantage here. I think he's just a little bit better holding the football regarding turnovers, and I think he will do decent, and he's got some good weapons around him. I think he has a 0.5 advantage. Comment below, who will have the better game? Is it going to be Matthew Stafford? Is it going to be Kirk Cousins? Let me know in the comments section. Do hashtag Stafford, hashtag Cousins. Let's go to the running back position. Adrian Peterson for the Detroit Lions. Former Minnesota Viking there. 85 for 321, 3.8 average, 2 touchdowns. For whatever reason, the Detroit Lions continue to hand him the ball instead of DeAndre Swift, and it's showing that it's not doing so well. Started well in the beginning of the season, but as of late, the last 3 games, Adrian Peterson is showing his age and not doing a whole lot there. Minnesota Vikings have a great running back in Dalvin Cook, who's 122 for 652 yards, 5.3 average, 10 touchdowns, night and day. Dalvin Cook's one of the best running backs in the NFL. He continues to show why he's so dominant, destroying the Green Bay Packers on Sunday. He's been destroying teams ever since he came in the league. And this is no doubt about it. I'm giving the biggest advantage I have yet to give on any player, on any team in the last 2 years of doing this, of a 3-point advantage here. No doubt about it. Dalvin Cook, the Minnesota Vikings running game is much better, much improved, and superior to the Detroit Lions. Turn on the notification bell. Why do you want to turn on the notification bell? Because the Lions versus Vikings live watch party is Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. I do play-by-play with the game audio as well, break down what happened in the play. I try to be very unbiased as humanly possible. So if you're a Vikings fan, come on down. Let's go to the wide receivers, and we're going to start with the Detroit Lions. Marvin Jones Jr., he's 22 for 37, 265 yards, 12 average with 3 touchdowns. The reason we're going Marvin Jones Jr. here is the injury to Kenny Galladay. And so this is forcing Marvin Jones Jr. to go ahead and be the number 1 guy for this game. Also look at for Marvin Hall for the Detroit Lions to help Marvin Jones Jr. out. When Kenny Galladay went out this past Sunday, Marvin Hall stepped up and had a fairly big game. So I expect the Detroit Lions to do a mix of Marvin Hall Jr. as well as Marvin Jones Jr. So Marvin and Marvin, that will be the duo here. A little bit of Danny Amendola. But when it comes to the wide receiver positions, that's what we got for the Detroit Lions. The Minnesota Vikings have 2 good wide receivers, but we're going to go ahead and talk about their rookie, Justin Jefferson, who's 31 for 40, 563 yards, 18.2 average, 3 touchdowns. I love this draft pick that they took. They traded away Diggs. And when they drafted Justin Jefferson, I thought it was a great, fantastic pick for them, and he is showing out to be a very good wide receiver. The Detroit Lions are going to have their hands full because Adam Thielen's on the other side. These 2 guys are going to get after it. It's going to be a great matchup between Jefferson, Okudah, Thielen, and Amani Oruwariye, and see who breaks out. But when it comes to the wide receivers here, there's a little bit of question marks for the Detroit Lions, so I'm going to give a 0.5 advantage to the Minnesota Vikings due to the question mark. Now, if Kenny Galladay plays, I think it's a little more even, but we're not 100% sure. So I'm going to give 0.5 to the Minnesota Vikings. Let's go to the tight end position, and we're going to start with TJ Hockenson, who is 29 for 41, 321 yards, 11.1 average, and 4 touchdowns. When it comes to TJ Hockenson, he's great when he has the ball in his hands, and he's doing everything he can. The issue is Darrell Bevell needs to give him the ball. Matthew Stafford needs to give him the ball. But with the Detroit Lions, I think they're going to attack to a middle, and I think TJ Hockenson's going to be a part of that. When it comes to the Minnesota Vikings, we're going to talk about two tight ends here. One being Irv Smith Jr., who is 11 for 17, 149, 13.5 average with 0 touchdowns. And the other one is Kyle Rudolph, 11 for 15, 135, 12.3 average with 1 touchdown. They use 2 tight ends more than Detroit Lions just use 1. When it comes to 2 tight ends, I think they're going to attack, again, the middle of the field of the Detroit Lions. We've seen this a billion times over. This is what all teams do. Attack the tight ends in the middle of the defense, and that's what they're going to do here in this case. And when it comes to tight end TJ versus their 2, I'm actually giving the Minnesota Vikings 0.5 advantage, not for the lack of the ability from TJ Hockenson, but because the Lions linebacking core is showing week after week that they're getting destroyed, and I think that they're going to continue to have that happen against the Minnesota Vikings, and you're going to see the tight ends take advantage of the weak core. Who is going to win this game? Hit that like button. Is it going to be the Detroit Lions or the Minnesota Vikings? Let me know. Smash that like button. Let's go ahead and transition to the defense, and we're going to start with the Detroit Lions here. The weak spot of the team, you got Jelani Tavai, 11 solo, 11 assisted, a total of 22. He's a weaker linebacker of the team. He's out of place sometimes. He's not doing the best that we should be as a sophomore. You got Reggie Ragland. You're going to see the numbers here are not insane here because he has only been starting to become in the rotation now as of late as the starter. And he is 10 solo, 8 assisted, 18 total with 1 sack. He's actually one of the better linebackers of the Detroit Lions. He's doing a decent job given the circumstances of the weak linebacking core of the Detroit Lions. You got Danny Shelton, the defensive tackle, who's 11 solo, 16 assisted, 27 total, 1 sack. Danny Shelton, as of late, the last couple of games, done a really good job stuffing the run and getting after the quarterback a little bit. So Danny Shelton is improving each game, and he continues to be a solid piece of the Detroit Lions defensive line. We're going to go to the best linebacker of the Detroit Lions, and that's Jamie Collins. 26 solo, 20 assisted, 46 total, 1 sack, 1 interception. He is the best linebacker on the Detroit Lions, and he's doing the best that he can, given with the lack of ability on the defensive line and the linebackers around him that are not good. Still, the linebacking core is not good at all, and Jamie Collins, though, is the best of the lack of it. Christian Jones, the Detroit Lions, 15 solo, 12 assisted, 27 total. He's one of the decent linebackers for the Detroit Lions, but that's not saying much because the linebacking core is bad. So decent on a normal team is not good on an NFL team. Let's go to Trey Flowers, who's 12 solo, 10 assisted, 22 total, 2 sacks. The issue here with Trey Flowers is he was injured versus the Colts game. Don't know if he's actually even going to play versus the Detroit Lions. So if he plays, it will help out the defensive line, but he's not really doing that much, all honestly. But we're going to talk about Everson Griffin, who will play versus the Minnesota Vikings. Former Viking himself. He was starting to heat up for the Dallas Cowboys. Can he heat up for the Detroit Lions? Don't know. Can't really grade it here. But I'll be keeping a keen eye on Griffin, and I'm sure the Vikings will as well. Let's go to the Vikings front seven, who's not that good either, like the Detroit Lions. And we're going to talk about Jalen Johnson, who's 14 solo, 11 assisted, 25 total, 0.5 sack with 0 interceptions. Again, the same issue with the Minnesota Vikings, with the Detroit Lions as well. Not the greatest linebacking core here. And Jalen Holmes is 9 solo, 12 assisted, 21 total, 0 sacks. We're going to do Amendola, who's 9 solo, 10 assisted, 19 total, 2.5 sacks, the better linebacker here. This is going to be interesting to see, is how Matt Stafford attacks the middle with Danny Amendola as well as TJ Hockenson. Are they going to do a little more slant routes right in the middle? Probably. I'm going to assume that. But again, we'll talk about the secondary of both teams as well as the Minnesota Vikings, who, again, was having a little bit of issues throughout the season. But they really did much better versus the Green Bay Packers. So, to me, it's hard to really tell because they did very good versus the Green Bay Packers, but they didn't do well before that. But hey, it's an NFC North showdown. Both teams play well versus the NFC North, and so the Minnesota took on Green Bay and beat them. Great job for them. We're going to talk about Eric Kendricks, 56 solo, 22 assisted, total of 78, 0 sacks. He's all over the field doing a great job. He's really taking it to him. So we're going to see, again, TJ Hockenson, see what he does versus him. And you got Eric Wilson as well. It's 21 solo, 20 assisted, 41 total, 2 sacks. Not too bad. Again, I think these guys are... There's just a lot of issues for this team, and it's blown well with the defense, surprisingly, of the Minnesota Vikings. With that said, I can really see them turn this around. I actually had the Minnesota Vikings being one of the better teams in the NFC before the season. Quite wrong here, and they can turn this around because they do got Mike Zimmer. And Shamar Stephen, who's 14 solo, 3 assisted, 17 total, 0 sacks. The numbers here for both it's interesting here because it's going to be who actually plays on this Sunday. I don't know, man, because one game they do great, one game they don't do well. So we'll see. When it comes to advantage, disadvantage, I'm actually going to say this is even here. I don't know, in all honesty. It's surprising that the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Green Bay Packers the way they did. So we're just going to go say even for the front seven. Both teams underperformed throughout the year and had signs of greatness. Subscribe to my channel. Why do you want to subscribe to my channel? Because I have the Detroit Lions One Pride podcast on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's not just about Lions, folks. We have a panel of individuals, and we talk about everything about the matchups. Try to be unbiased as humanly possible. And regarding the other people on my subscriber base, it doesn't matter if you're a Lions fan or not. We talk about all teams. So if you got a question regarding your Minnesota Vikings, come pass it down and let me know. So subscribe to my channel. Let's go to the secondaries. And you got the Detroit Lions here. Safety, Tracy Walker. 36 solo, 15 assisted, 51 total, 4 pass defenses. Tracy Walker's having an underperforming year, not having the year that the Lions thought he would. They got safety, Duron Harmon, 19 solo, 7 assisted, 26 total, 2 interceptions, 4 pass defense. He's actually been the better safety of the Detroit Lions. On the field, he's getting some interceptions. He's getting pass defenses. With that said, it's still underwhelming in my opinion. Let's go to the cornerback position. Jeff Okudah, 3rd overall pick, 32 solo, 3 assisted, 35 total, 1 interception, 2 pass defense. Jeff Okudah I feel like he's getting better each game, but he's still getting burnt each game. and I think the Minnesota Vikings will burn him with Jefferson or Thielen in this game, but he is getting better. Amani Oruwariye, he's the best cornerback on the league, best cornerback, on the Detroit Lions team. 19 solo tackles, 1 assisted, total of 20, and 5 pass defenses. He is the sophomore for the Detroit Lions. He's the best cornerback on the team. He's doing a very good job, and I think that the quarterbacks are starting to throw away from him just a little bit, going more at Okudah, as you would assume. And the Detroit Lions also got Coleman and Darryl Roberts. We're just going to talk about Darryl Roberts here because Coleman had a very bad game. And Darryl Roberts was 19 solo, 1 assisted, total of 20, 1 interception, 3 pass defense. That's the nickel corner. He's going in and out. Coleman was playing for the Lions versus the Colts, and he got destroyed. The Lions secondary is better than the linebacking core in the defensive line. With that said, they are getting burnt on plays, and I feel like that the Minnesota Vikings will get them on some plays, but the Lions are not having the worst secondary in the league. So let's go ahead and go to the Minnesota Vikings, and they got safety Anthony Harris, 30 solo, 15 assisted, 45 total, 0 sack, 1 pass defense. He's doing a fairly good job against the secondary. To me, that's the weaker point of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm sure you all know. They got Harrison Smith, 21 solo, 12 assisted, 33 total, 1 interception, 1 pass defense. He is a hard hitter. I love Harrison Smith, not when he's going against the Detroit Lions, because he is a hard hitter. He's not having the best season that he's had throughout the years. With that said, he's still an individual that Matthew Stafford needs to pay attention to. He can turn the ball over, and if you're a wide receiver, expect to get hit. And they got cornerback Jeff Gladney, who's 31 solo, 4 assists, 35 total, 0 interceptions, 2 pass defense. He's getting beat up a little bit here. They got a young secondary, and it's kind of like the Detroit Lions. They're going to get beat up. And they got Cameron Dantzler, who's 23 solo, 3 assisted, with 26 total. The secondary is the weak point of the game. And if the Detroit Lions got their wide receivers out there, if they got Kenny Galladay and they got Marvin Hall, they're all ready to go. I think they can take advantage of some of this matchups and get some plays down the field. Look, Kenny Galladay, he's a difference maker, and we'll see if they can take advantage of it. We'll see the injury report there. They got Holton Hill, 19 solo, 5 assisted, 24 total, 3 pass defense. For when it comes to the secondary of the Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings, I actually have, I think it's the first time that Detroit Lions have a 0.5 advantage. For the secondary here, I think Minnesota is the weaker point of their team. With that said, this is the Detroit Lions versus Vikings. You can kind of throw a lot of this stats out of the way because when you play a division rival, they play better. Just look at Minnesota versus Green Bay. Comment, who has the better defense? Leave me a comment in the comment section. # Lions, # Vikings. Let me know. Let's go to the special teams of the Detroit Lions. And they got Jamal Agnew, 11 attempt, 294 yards, 26.7 average. He's average at best right now. Not doing a whole lot. A lot of touchbacks. Anyway, kicker Matt Prater, he is 12 for 17, 70.6 percentage, 51 long. He's having a bad year. He's missing a lot of easy kicks. Matt Prater is not having the best year for the Detroit Lions, and it's a deficit for the special teams. But then you got a positive in Jack Fox, who's literally the best punter in the NFL. 27 punts for 1,437, 67 long, 53.2 average. He is the MVP of the Detroit Lions team. He puts offenses in a long-distance field position. He's the best punter in the NFL by far. It's not even close. Let's go to the Minnesota Vikings, and they got KJ Osborne for returner for 9 for 210, 23.3 average. They actually use a lot of players for returner. You can always talk about Amir Abdullah. But again, it's like the Lions here. Not a whole lot going on from that aspect. They got kicker Dan Bailey, who's 6 for 8, 75 completion, 52 long. He's having a better year than the Matt Prater of the Detroit Lions by a little bit. Not a whole lot of attempts, though, just a 6 for 8. And I got Britton Colquitt, who's 22 for 953, 57 long, 43.3 average. Not that great of average for punting for the Minnesota Vikings. When it comes to special teams, I'm actually going to give a 0.5 advantage for the Detroit Lions. I do believe the kicking is nearly the same, a little bit better for the Vikings. The kick returner is nearly the same. But when it comes to punting, Jack Fox has been just outstanding for the Detroit Lions. Let's jump to coaching, and we're going to start with Matt Patricia, who's 3 for 4. 3 wins, 4 losses, and he is a bad coach. He is not very good at all. He makes bad decisions. I think just so far, one game this year, I thought he had a good grade. But when it comes to majority of the games, like the Colts, he is just not a good coach. And he's not been good in the NFC North. We lose a lot of NFC North games. Let's go to Minnesota Vikings, who they got Mike Zimmer, who's two wins for 5 losses this year. But historically, he's a really good coach. He's got a good defensive mind. And he's had a bad year this year. With that said, great game plan versus the Green Bay Packers, defeating them. And to me, he is the better coach. He is the better coach. And I'm going to give a 1.5 advantage here for the coaching. Obviously, Mike Zimmer has shown it through the NFC North that he can beat the Detroit Lions. And he is a good mind of the defense. Let's go to the score prediction here. The Detroit Lions are traveling to the Minnesota Vikings. And even though the Minnesota Vikings is 2 of 5 and the Lions are 3 and 4, I have the Vikings winning this game 24-23. Minnesota will go on a 2-game winning streak and beat the Detroit Lions. They have been beating the Detroit Lions ever since Matt Patricia has been coach. It seems like it's normal. The offense woke up a little bit. Dalvin Cook is a monster. The Detroit Lions defensive line are going to have a hard time stopping him. Minnesota wins 24-23. In the upcoming videos, folks, I got the One Pride podcast again on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. EST. Make sure you're there. I got the mailbag segment on Saturday at 10:30 in the morning and a live watch party, Lions versus Vikings. Be there at 1 p.m. Eastern time and have a great day. With that said, folks, adios.